Alright, bring in another one of these. So basically, I wasn't planning on doing this, but someone was actually commenting a lot on my older Dragon Quest Nuzlocke, and it made me want to play a new one. Originally, I had planned on doing another one of these a long time ago, and I was going to do it with Zelda characters instead of My Hero Academia characters, since I was working on my Zelda D&D. At first, I was just going to use the Zelda characters since I had them all good to go. But the thing I was working on, like right before I wanted to start playing this, was some animations for my Deltarune playthrough. I was working on Ralsei's model. I actually have him all rigged up and ready to go now. I'm just, all that's really left for me to do for Ralsei is just do a little test animation to show he's ready. Then I'll upload that and start working on the next character. But since I'm doing that, I decided that instead of doing Zelda characters for this run, I was going to do Undertale and Deltarune characters. I am going to be handling this a little bit differently than the last run. For one thing, I am not choosing the player character. The player character is going to be randomized along with all the other characters. And unlike the other run I did, it won't be like, oh, I have every single character on the list. In this run, I am going to be just filling up the inn. Like, as soon as I get to the inn, I'll randomize all the characters, fill up as many as I can. I think it's 6, if I'm remembering correctly. It's been a while since I played this game. And then those are the only characters I get for the entirety of the run, but I'm allowed to swap them out and pick whichever ones I want to have on the team at the same time. To counteract this, I changed the ruling a little bit on revives, where now revives work in and out of battle, but you can still only revive once in battle. So like if a character dies twice in a battle, you can revive them the first time in the battle, but then the second revive you have to wait until the battle's over. And the player character no longer gets infinite revives. They get 3 like everyone else if you're doing normal rules, or if you're going to do what I'm doing where you just fill up the inn and that's your entire party. Counteract that, the player character will get 6 revives instead of 3. So for now, I am going to randomize who I got here. I think there are 23 different options, and some of these characters I had to make some real pulls with. The main reason I'm randomizing this instead of just picking who I want to play as is because if I did that, I would just be playing as Chris, and having the player character be guaranteed to have a sword is a little overpowered. So to counteract that, I just decided to randomize this. I am allowing rerolls on this one specifically, mainly because I don't want to be stuck playing as Birdly. Let's see who I get. I got Ralsei. Okay, that's gonna be pretty weird. Do I have background inputs? I don't. Well, that's gonna be pretty weird. So Ralsei, his 2 classes are Priest and Minstrel, and he uses a whip, since I figured that was the closest to his scarf. But the problem is kind of I don't really play support exclusive. I would like to remind. I'm gonna take this moment to remind people this is all I have for customization options. So there are going to be some pretty big fucking stretches with what I'm actually capable of doing. This is... I'm gonna give him purple instead of red since pink isn't an option. For the sole purpose of I have Asriel on this list, and I'm gonna give him red eyes. I was already planning to do that. Okay, so this is definitely gonna be a weird... gonna be weird. I almost spelled his name wrong. That would have been hilarious. I am also going to take this time during the beginning where it's just an absurd amount of cutscenes that I can't skip to go over the rules properly instead of just saying, "Hey, look at the fucking link to the page in the description and read that." So that way, at the very least, on episode 1, there can be set rules. So while this is going on, I'm just gonna go down the list, read the rules, and then I'll, I guess, try and explain some more shit if it's necessary. Okay, so main rules. Just like Pokemon Nuzlocke, when a character dies, they are permanently dead and must be erased. Any items or equipment on a dead character may be recovered before you erase them. You are allowed as many replacements for your characters as you want, up to a maximum of 40 total characters, excluding the PC, or the alt rule, which I'll be using in this run. You are only allowed to fill up the inn. Once all slots are filled, those are the party members you have for the entire run. Using this rule, the PC is allowed to have 6 revives instead of 3 if you are using mercy rules. If the PC dies, even if there are still living or remaining characters, then the run is over. You are allowed to use cheats to unlock the extra 6 classes. You can use cheats to increase the amount of gold and XP you receive up to 8 times for both. That is mainly because... Shit, I just dropped my controller. That is mainly because otherwise you will be spending 16 years doing these runs. And next is the win conditions. There are different difficulties for the win conditions. Easy mode. Defeat Corvus. The PC dies during the fight, but you still defeat him, then it counts as a win. Normal mode. Defeat Corvus. If the PC dies during the fight, then the run is a loss, even if you defeat him with the remaining players. Hard mode. Defeat all of the grotto bosses at least once. Insane mode. Defeat all of the legacy bosses at least once. And the pretty sure it's impossible because of the restrictions on building characters, which I don't think I actually included in this list now that I'm thinking about it. Defeat all the legacy bosses after leveling them to 99 at least once. So, I'm gonna shoot for as high as I can go, but I'm thinking I'm dying around insane or masochist difficulty. And then the mercy rules, which for the sake of recording, I'm pretty much gonna be using all of these. You can revive any dead character a total of 3 times per character. You can revive them out of battle as long as they have a spare life, but you may only revive them in battle once per battle. If the PC runs out of lives, you can continue the run and revive the PC by sacrificing a currently living party member, removing all revives, killing them outright, and all of the items and equipment currently on them must be thrown away. You can use the cheat to guarantee that you'll get the 2% drop from grotto bosses, but only after you kill them 5 times in a row without getting it. This must be done each time you want an additional copy of that item. And then the rest of the rules are just challenge run rules. I will not be playing any of those. I want to at least complete a singular actual run before I do that. They are pretty fucking intense. But those will be important after I actually beat a run. But the rule with the character building, or at the very least the way I set it up, technically speaking, you don't have to follow this rule, but I'll probably throw it into the main rules, is instead of being limited, I know for all the characters I have 1 weapon, the shield, and then 2 classes. That is not... That's just how I'm running them with the limitations I have built into, like, building the characters. The limitation is 400 skill points. If that is how you want to do it, you do not have to do it like, oh, shield, weapon, 2 classes. You could put, like, a little bit of points into every single class. Maybe not even put points into shield at all, etc. It's just 400 points. The way I just happened to build it, 2 classes, a shield, and a weapon for each character. Because that's just the way I wanted to do. But it's gonna be weird. It's gonna be a very weird run. I still just really fucking want this game to get a remake. Oh, should... Tactics, right? Yeah. That's closest, I guess. Actually, no, it's not. The base green is closest. Where am I going? I'm not going the right way. They're not going the right way. Like I said, it's been a while. I think it's been like 3-4 years since I played this last. Like, my Nuzlocke it wasn't the last time I tried playing it. I did try and start up another few Nuzlockes, but just didn't really get into them because it was surprisingly exhausting trying to come up with thumbnails for how each of the characters would react when I didn't really care about the characters. Like, I really didn't realize how little I cared about the side characters in My Hero Academia that were not directly related to Bakugo. Like, it was super fucking hard to think about how the characters would react to each other like that. But, so what I'm doing with the thumbnail in this is, once I get to the inn and get all the characters, every single one of the characters that I have available will be in the thumbnail. And when one of them dies, I'm just going to remove them from the thumbnail. Like, I'm not going to edit anyone's reaction. So, like, if I have two characters talking to each other in the thumbnail and then one of those two characters dies, the other dude's just going to be sitting there talking to no one. There's actually some pretty good variety, I think, with these characters, like significantly more than the My Hero characters. For example, the Luminary class, I think I only had one character in the My Hero setup that was a Luminary, but I have like 4 or 5 that are Luminaries in this one. Are whips available from the start, or am I fucked? Because that's another thing. Is I'm actually going to enforce from the beginning the rule that if you can't use the weapon that your class has for the way I have it set up, that they just don't get a weapon. So I know I'm fairly confident minstrels can use whips, which is one of Rawls's classes. So that's nice, but I can't remember if whips are available from the start. Oh, right. Like I said, it's been a while since I played. Oh, and in case you're wondering why I picked this haircut, it's literally because it was the closest to floppy fucking ears I could think of. There are not... If this game does get remade, I would hope that the customization options are significantly more in-depth. If not, though, I would hope it's easy to mod. If that would be the case, for the sole purpose of doing these Nuzlocks, even though I've never done it before, I would probably look up actually how to mod my own models into the game. So that way I could use my own guys and actually have the characters be the characters. Yeah, but this beginning section really is just long. I can never remember what the fuck I'm supposed to do because it's been a while. Oh. It's actually pretty funny getting Rawlsy for the playable character, for the main character, due to the fact that the game starts off with him just like going out of his way to help people. when he's like I'm literally scooping up manure with my bare hands right now, and that's absolutely something Ralsei would do if he thought it would help Lightners. So that's actually, it's pretty fucking funny in hindsight. I don't think there's anything in here. I don't think there's anything in here either. I'm so curious to see who the fuck I get for my team in this run, because like I said, there's like 23 characters. And if I'm correct in thinking that you only get 6 additional characters in the inn, that means I only get 7 total characters from out of 23. So that'll be interesting. Another thing that I want to bring up is where I grab the characters from, and like some characters aren't that probably should be there aren't there. Like Lancer is not a playable character, mainly because I couldn't really think of how to make him work. Like I just really couldn't think of how to make Lancer work. But other characters like I have characters from Deltarune, Undertale, and Undertale Yellow, kind of from Yellow. I only picked 4 characters from Undertale Yellow. I only picked Clover, Starlo, Soroba, and the bird, who I just remembered I don't know how to pronounce their name, and when I looked it up, it was like split 50-50 down the middle on whether or not her name is pronounced Martlet or Marley. Like, people were legitimately arguing about it, and it was, like I said, it was clean 50-50 down the middle, so I have no no idea one way or the other. I was thinking about also adding in that one dude you encounter in the dunes that like it makes you have a dance battle against him, and then Starlo's like deputies. But I didn't want to add too many characters from Undertale Yellow since it's not like an official game. So I just stuck with like the main 4. And in certain cases, like another character that I really wanted to and tried to have as a character was Spamton. I could not think of how to get him to work. But other characters, like there are some interesting ones. Like I got Queen to work, I got Jevil to work. So I was hesitant on including, I'm going the wrong way again, including Chris, Chara, and Frisk because of how similar they all are. Obviously, Chris was going to be a like main choice. Like if I had to only pick one of them, Chris would be the one. I decided to also include Chara simply because I didn't really have any other characters that used knives. I just wanted another character on the roster that would use a knife. I did not include Frisk though, because I felt like Frisk would be too similar to Chara.
Aki, stop licking yourself. Stop it. Stop licking yourself. Hey, knock that off.
No. Alright, I also did not include King for pretty much the same reason as Lancer. Even though, like, King, I could have thought of a good weapon for him. Obviously, he would just get a whip because of his whip, like, tail thing that he attacks you with. I just really couldn't think of what classes I wanted him to be.
Stop it, Rocky.
I would probably say the character I like the most out of all the ones I made is Azrael. Because of... Oh, this is not running well. Because I accidentally made him, like, pretty... pretty... I want to say lore accurate, even though it's not lore accurate. It's just... Basically, without attempting to do it this way, or doing it like on purpose or anything like that, I accidentally made one of his classes be one of Torio's classes, and one of his classes be one of Asgore's classes. And I just thought that was really funny. I also decided to give him claws because, like, I just really couldn't think of much, and I remembered, oh, there was that one attack he did during his boss fight where he swiped at you, so that, I guess that counts. Oh, it's running so bad. My super advanced computer can't handle the fucking 180p DS pre-rendered cutscene. Oh, that's pretty normal. So, like, pre-rendered cutscenes tend to not play out very well. But, if Dragon Quest IX does get a remake, I will probably just restart my run in the remake. Like, it's... This game... I love this game so much. It really feels criminal that this game does not have a remake. Or at the very least, I want there to be another Dragon Quest that has the same level as of party building as this one. To where you can fully customize the entire party, including like their outfits and stuff based on what armor they have. Because having a game where the armor actually shows up, having like an RPG like this where the armor actually shows up on the character instead of just the weapon swapping out, is pretty rare. Like, I know it's like pretty easy to think about that stuff being normal with games like Dark Souls, having it be like common and stuff now, but like for JRPGs and stuff specifically, getting new pieces of armor and stuff usually does not change your character's appearance at all. So having this level of customization in a Dragon Quest game is really cool, and I really want them to bring back this kind of system again. It's like, this was the only Dragon Quest game that did this too. Like, it allowed you to have the full customized party without like any named well, technically there are named NPCs that can join the party, but that's part of quests that you get later on down the thing, and it's not the same. Oh yeah, my sandals better than my boots. No. Alright, I should go check to see if whips are available from the start, or if I'm going, no weapon. I'm fairly confident you can get a whip in Stornway, or whatever the fuck it's called. Like I said, it's been a while, but, okay, cool, whips are available straight from the start. Only one of them is, though. Alright, so Ralsei gets his weapon right off the bat. That's very nice. Let me just save the game. There is a character on the list that if I get them, and I lose the run, it will have to be either because I just got unlucky and got crit like 8 times in a row by like a super endgame boss, or I was just like actually falling asleep and just mash buttons without paying attention. Because they I tried to build all these characters somewhat accurate to them. So like if they had a weapon, I just gave them the weapon they used. And this character, they use a sword. And they are very overpowered. So building them like that, I essentially just made them warrior gladiator with a sword. So like using proper like Falcon Slash techniques, that can probably get up to like 2,000 damage per slash. Which is just hilarious. Like I really don't see many bosses surviving that character. So, if I get them, it's pretty much GG. Without me being absolutely brain dead, but like, you never know. Alright. Oh, right, I almost forgot about one of the main rules of Metal Slimes that is also not on the list. Metal Slime farming is capped based on what slime you're fighting. The base Metal Slime, you can get up to level 20. Metal Medleys, you can get up to level 40. Liquid Metals, you can get up to 60. Metal Kings, 80. And then everything above that lets you get to 99. That is mainly in place just so that you don't, like, power level. Like, you don't just make it to the first Metal Slimes and power level to 99, even though that would still be obnoxious. That would be very obnoxious and not fun to do. It's basically just there so you can't, like, power level and just get absurdly overpowered right away. And then just cakewalk yourself through the game. I feel like those levels are roughly around... Like, if you pretty much only farm the Metal Slimes, those levels are roughly around where you would be at. I'm gonna try and avoid fights with this guy in the party. Oh no. I'm gonna try and avoid fights with this guy in the party for the sole purpose of not wanting to technically break run rules and using a character that isn't one of the main people, I guess. Oh yeah, I'm also... This is going to be plainly visible at this point in the video. But I'm also going to be editing the bars on the top and bottom of the screen to better portray like the run rules and stuff. So it's going to be... all the bosses that I need to beat will be visible. And once I beat them, I'll cross their name off. So like pretty much in the right hand side of it, where it's normally just empty space, it's going to be the bosses separated into difficulty, and then when I beat one of them, I'll just cross them off. And then I'll have all 6, well, I assume 6. Like I said, it's been a while. I'm remembering it as 6 characters that are available to me. Will be visible on the top as being alive. There'll be 2 rows of them. The ones at the top row are the ones that are in the active party, and the ones in the bottom row will be the ones that are in the inn. And then the main character, in this case Ralsei, he'll have his own, like, full-size icon. Trying to think if there's anything else. I also wasn't paying attention. I'm pretty sure I just go back to the town at this point and tell everyone that, hey, they're working on a thing, but I can't remember if I have to go to the dungeon first. Pretty sure I just head back. I may increase the speed of the game to ×2, as I forgot how slow overworld movement is. Oh no! Oh well. Just fight this guy and move on. This is weird though, because Ralsei actually is already one of his 2 classes. I usually never use Minstrel, because I feel like, oh, it's, even though it's really not the case, I feel like, oh, it's the starting class. That means it's bad. I think it's mainly because it's like an all-arounder. Like, it's an all-arounder class. It's supposed to be a little bit of magic, a little bit of attack, a little bit of healing, all that kind of stuff. So I feel like, since it doesn't specify any one thing, not really all that great. But that really just is not the case. It has its uses. So it's going to be interesting actually finally having the proper stuff for it. I am going to save and end the episode here. And then... because it's been over half an hour, I want to keep this one half an hour for the episodes. Just gonna wait until I finish the cutscene and then go save, just in case something happens when I try and increase the game speed. Yeah, but as I've stated in my previous runs, I really don't see myself losing anyone until post-game because of how much I've played this game. But I've also never had my main character be a priest with a whip. So I might get fucked. It's going to be very interesting to see how this all goes.